the storm that is approaching. Devil May Cry 5. It's an action game made by Capcom in 2019 and is the 5th installment of the Devil May Cry series. This game is a whole pile of exhilarating, insane, weird-ass combat and action, iconic characters, cheesy one-liners, and batshit insane moments. If you really want my quick review, play the game, and if not, fuck you! Story. We follow a multitude of memorable and recurring characters during the game. 4 playable. These are Deadweight, 3 Days Grace, Mr. Poetry, Georgepot, and Barry Delight. We follow the story in chapters, taking turn in between each characters in a parallel storyline. We start off with Nero getting in a scrap with Urizen, the edgelord himself. He cannot handle his aura, so he becomes Deadweight and gets absolutely thrashed by Urizen. Dante, that Chad, takes over. V and Nero get out of that weird tentacle hentai place with all these disgusting little tentacle cesspits. I don't know what the hell Urizen's into, but I don't want to know. You are a freaky little dude, dog. Anyway, we discover that the world's being invaded by these naughty little demons that are currently invading the world. And us, the 3 heroes, we have to save the world, right? Straight and simple on paper, right? Sure. But man, it does it justice. With 20 chapters, the story ends up being pretty rememberable. In my opinion, it's probably one of the best Devil May Cry stories, just behind 3. You'll never take 3 away from me, my sweet beloved baby. Bless me with the leaf of the tree on it. But being a Devil May Cry game, the story will not leave you in awe. Something like Ghost of Tsushima, which is a really deep emotional story. You're not going to get that here, but does that mean it's bad? Absolutely not. Because of how batshit insane everything else is and how hectic and chaotic and nonsensical it kind of seems. Because it's Devil May Cry, it works. Everything about it is just cool. Really cool. Look at this. Telling me this isn't cool. Honestly, going through the entire story, all the way through is like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he points at the TV. It's constant, it's so iconic, and there's so many moments where I 100% guarantee you've seen a clip from anything about DMC. You've seen something, even if you've not played. Capcom somehow have this magical ability to make the most cheesy, cringy dialogue and one-liners and somehow make it cool instead of just really, really weird and cringy.
Somebody call a doctor?
I don't know how they do it. Honestly, they make these over-exaggerated, nonsensical creations, and instead of us just being, what the hell am I playing? Instead we're like, wow, this is really cool. Jokes aside, the last few chapters, oh my god, man, it gets good, man. It's juicy stuff, it's just lovely. And if you've played the entire series, it's just even better. But either way, it's art. It's magnificent. 1 second. I even got the sexy Devil May Cry 5 steelbook. Let's take a look at this shit. Wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? On it, I see. Again, don't expect anything really deep emotionally. It's a Devil May Cry game and it's there to serve for entertainment and just be really chaotic, and you will like it. It's just a really fun, chaotic ride. You've got loads of different characters which just kind of compile to make this really weird world just make a bit of sense. Since everyone in the game kind of just matches our energies, it doesn't seem nonsensical and weird anymore because everyone's just really weird. I mean, a personal favourite, Chainsmoker Lady. Basically her entire personality is that she's serving and she smokes a lot of cigarettes. An unhealthy amount. I'm sure there's every single scene she's smoking a cigarette. You'll be hooked. You'll be hooked on how insane everything is, and you'll just be curious to see what they're actually going up and cooking with this. But hey, if the story isn't your cup of tea, that's fine, because we've got the combat.
I am the storm that is approaching.
Man, this combat is so much damn fun, right? As mentioned prior, you have 3 characters that you're going to play. Technically 4 if you get the DLC. All that have very deep movesets that improve over time. You got all these different combos that you can do with each character, and they've all got different playstyles. Let's start off with Nero. He has a sword that you can fucking rev up like a motorbike and it ignites. Also, he has a prosthetic arm that you can change into other prosthetic arms that have different abilities. Deadweight also has a bomb-ass jacket. I mean, just look at it. It's just cool, man. Like, are you serious? This is something I would rock. I wouldn't, because I don't wear that type of stuff in real life, but if I could, without being looked at, I fucking would, mate. Sword combat, you gotta grapple to either grapple towards people or bring them to you. You got your devil breakers as well. They all got different abilities, or you could just blow it up to do a breakaway and escape if you're being absolutely bum-ragged in the corner. Close combat, very cool. Lots of different combos to mix in with your devil breakers, grappling, actual sword combos, igniting it, all that good stuff. Mr. Poetry is a little weak man who kind of talks like this. Everything he's talking about is just edgy. Kinda seems like the biggest nihilist you'll ever meet in your life. I'm running out of time. Mr. Poetry has 3 really good pets, however, which basically fight for them, so he kind of works as a zoner or a ranger. He's got
Little cheeky.
your ranged little bird guy who shoots bullets at things. You get abilities that you can like dive bomb and shoot lightning, do a stun attack, all that good stuff. And then you got your little jaguar, right? Your little panther, whatever the hell it is. Your main melee guy. You know, he's got all the melee attacks that you need. Pretty much very similar combat styles. So you got your ranged and your melee guy. And then you got your special ability. No, all characters have their own devil trigger. For Nero and Dante, they become like demons guys, right? Virgil, he summons this big guy called Nightmare. And it's basically just a massive iron golem that just swings around. You can also mount him and fight with him. So that's pretty cool. You know what? Does it seem that interesting to stand there reading a book while your other pets attack people? Surprisingly, entertaining. See, I always thought going into it, V would be very boring to play, but I actually quite enjoyed him. I was quite surprised that I wasn't really bored of him. But yeah, your range guy. Dante, the Devil Hunter himself, can wield up to 4 weapons and 4 ranged weapons at the same time that you can swap out with other ones, your choice. And some of these weapons also have a transform ability as well, so they kind of work differently. Like for melee punching weapons, you can switch them into a kicking one. You got your nunchucks as well, your elemental ones. They start off icy, and if you go into Swordmaster, you can have this fire pole, and if you hold that, you get lightning, all that type of stuff. Also, Dante has 4 different styles. He has Vanguard, parrying, Swordmaster, you guessed it, big special attack, Gunmaster, something like that. Makes your guns do more. I'm a personal favourite, Trickster. You can kind of dodge everywhere. It's kind of like Rush style and Yakuza 0. But there's so many choices with Dante. He's my personal favourite because he just has so many toys that you can play with and just make insane combos. Literally no one will survive because you have so much choice. Dante clearly has the most combo potential, as there's so much to play with. From demon sword to elemental nunchakus, flaming fist and kicks, and a fucking motorbike that you can split in half and use it as fucking swing it around and ride it into people. And then you have your range stuff, right? You have an RPG, dual handguns, double barrel shotgun, and the most broken item in the game, hat. Then you also got Virgil, which is a DLC that you can purchase. He's pretty insane, as you might come to expect. I am the storm that is approaching. All these characters have very deep depth, right, with their moveset. You can unlock a multitude of different abilities and attacks with these things that you get red orbs, which are basically your currency. Spend them, get new abilities. There's loads, pretty much every aspect of your character. Say, let's take Nero for example. So you can upgrade Nero himself. Gives him stuff like perfect dodging, and then you can upgrade his sword, get more sword attacks. You also got igniting, you can get more for that, make that more efficient. You got your guns as well that you can also upgrade, all that type of stuff. And you'll be constantly upgrading and getting new stuff each time as well, especially Dante. Most missions end with a boss and you'll get some type of item for that, so it's quite fresh most of the time. The combat itself just needs to be experienced. It starts off basic and a bit slow, but builds up into this massive game of perfecting your fighting ability as you'll get new abilities and you'll just become a bit obsessed with getting more and more style, as there's a style system. D, dismal. C, crazy. B, I forgot what B was. A. Apocalyptic. S. Sexy. SS. And then SSS. Smoking sexy style. So yeah, all these different grades kind of makes you want to get a higher score in most combat. And also when you complete a mission, you get your final grade as well. It's just nice to challenge yourself to getting S's on all missions, because you get more gems and stuff like that, so might as well. Following combat with a lot of choice. Mixed with the music and difficulty options, this combat is worth replaying. And I'll get into that in a second, but this is something that I just can't really put into words. You just kind of gotta trust me and try it yourself. This is applicable to most Devil May Cry's except 2, because you can just spam gun. And yeah, the learning curve just kind of makes you want to get good at the game as well, rather than just settling with a normal hack and slash, like just getting by the missions. And of course, see, like I said before, getting that SSS at the end of your mission, at the end of the combat encounter, it just feels good, right? We all like to feel good, right? The dramatic, over-the-top, demonic art style that they've gone for really delves into the craziness and over-exaggeration of everything about this game. Usually, like I said before, otherwise, it would come off really cringy and edgy. It's trying too hard with all these tentacles and demons and teeth and everything. But because, again, how crazy everything about Devil May Cry is, it works really well. And it's kind of got its own personality now. You see this type of stuff and you're like, Devil May Cry, yeah. It just helps fill up the parts to tie it all up, to make this insane, crazy little cesspit of insane chaos and make it feel like it makes sense. It doesn't make sense, but because of how everything just ties in very well together, it does. It just makes everything feel cool instead of really weird and bad and cringy. It just feels really cool instead. There's a part where Dante kills Cerberus, gets some nunchucks and starts spinning around and he's just killed Cerberus, huh? Like the guardian of hell, and then he starts playing with a nunchuck. And then that part where he gets a hat made for him and he just starts dancing like Michael Jackson. Where did that come from? Doesn't matter, it's funny and cool. It's still a silly game, but it's so insane that it just feels good. It's kind of like Yakuza, where everything is just really weird. Then, because it kind of blends into the world and it's kind of like an IP for both of these games, you deal with it and you're like, okay, this is Yakuza, this is DMC. It's a personality that they have. Missions are linear and usually end with a boss, so it gives you something to look forward to. With side missions with a setup condition, for example, kill the red impulsors within a certain amount of time. You get that, you complete them, and you get a special orb, which you collect 4, and you can either upgrade your health, or your devil trigger, that kind of thing. But overall, the world is well suited to Devil May Cry, but it really couldn't have done it all without the music. Pull my devil trigger! Yeah, this soundtrack is a certified cult banger. Similar to my Nero Automata review, I still can't say that game name, Automata, that one. The music is the final link to this game, which just makes it feel complete and make it a masterpiece, right? It gets what's already is really good and just fucking nitro boosts it and make it even better. Nero, V, Dante, Virgil all have their independent battle music, which is just something more than generic fighting music, right? If you play this game and you just replace the combat with like basic battle music, it doesn't feel the same. But instead, when you start up with a fight with Nero and Devil Trigger starts playing, you feel cool, man. And you get into it really well. And there's so much identity and energy between both songs for each character, and they're all independent to the character. Virgil is this really powerful song, right? Dante is just anger. Nero is energetic, and Virgil is very emo. It's so good, and I just didn't get tired of them playing every single combat encounter because it was just that good. Replayability. This game was meant to be replayed. When you beat the game, it goes straight automatically onto Son of Sparda right away, and you keep all your stuff. All your abilities, you keep that. Go into the next one. There's so many different difficulties. Some are special, and some just make it harder. So you got your heaven and hell, which makes you and the enemy one shot. You can just run around shooting everything, but that's up to you. And then you got Hell in Hell, where you are one shot, everyone else is not. Good luck. Alongside the 4 normal difficulties that you have, they just get harder and harder, you know, your normal stuff. If you're a completionist, you have a lot to get through, and I wish you luck. I'm a part-time completionist, and I tried to do this one, and I genuinely couldn't. It was that bloody get S on every mission, every difficulty. I was like, no, wait. Upon completion of your first playthrough, you'll unlock the Bloody Palace, which is a challenge mode with a tower consisting of 101 floors. You'll fight your way through them, and if you die, you start again. Yippee! However, the amount of red orbs that you get from it makes it worth it. So, if you're looking to get some orbs, Bloody Palace is pretty decent to do that. You know, it's just cool to challenge yourself to either do this chalice and get all 101 missions done, or get S on every mission. It's just cool, and you'll get bragging rights if you do it, and rightfully so. If you have done it, congratulations, mate. This is just a quick one. Community. Devil May Cry, Yakuza, and Metal Gear Solid genuinely have the best community of people that I've ever met in my life, and it's some of the best fan bases that I've ever been a part of. It's one that I'm actually proud to be a part of, instead of other ones which I've left because of how toxic and negative everyone was. Examples of this include Souls games, For Honor, and Red Dead Redemption. Devil May Cry, however, I love these people. They're so chill. Again, with the other two as well, Devil May Cry, Yakuza, and Metal Gear Solid. Some of the most chill people I've ever met, and genuinely one of the best communities I've ever met in my life. They're just so chill and funny. Honestly, I love you, Jokepots. Keep it up. Keep burying delight. So DLC, there's quite a few transactions, but a lot of these are just maintained in the game. They kind of just act as shortcuts. You know, if you want more blood orbs or revives, that type of stuff. You know, Capcom stuff. You don't have to. However, there is one DLC. Virgil. So you get to play as Virgil in a story mode which doesn't have a story, really, and just kind of sets you in the game you've just replayed, though. So you're just playing Virgil and Nero, Dante, and V's story. Fight the same guys. Kind of sad there's no independent story, but I guess whatever. It's cool to play as Virgil, I suppose. I mean, I guess there is a little story. Sometimes it fills you in, but it's not a full one, but oh well. Alright, well, conclusion, my friends. I love this game. Fun fact, this is a replay that I did. I played it for the first time in 2019, I believe. I've recently replayed it. I just got the urge for it. And I can say that my score actually went up from original. I'll get into that in a bit, but yeah, my score has actually improved from last time I played this game. Combat is fantastic, the story is iconic and memorable, all the characters I absolutely love. The world, cool. Obviously, music is fantastic, actual gold. Community again, I love you all, Jokepots, I love them all. And yeah, overall, just a really, really, really fun game. Amazing people, really fun, just really iconic as well. There's so many memes that come out of this game, honestly. That's why I was saying before. If you haven't played it, you've definitely seen something from this game before, if you're in the gaming community. But man, good stuff. You really need, if you like action, hack and slash, beat 'em up, or that type of game, you need to try this game. It's literally like the cornerstone. It's like the grand jewel of these type of games. You know, if I want to give you reference games that you'll probably enjoy this from if you enjoy them, Ninja Gaiden, God of War, the original ones, that type of stuff, you'll like this. But man, phenomenal. Can't wait for Devil May Cry 6. So, my original score for when I first played this game was a, drum roll, an 8.8 out of 10. However, after my replay, it has been boosted. My current rating for Devil May Cry 5 is another drum roll, a 9.2 out of 10. Honestly, phenomenal piece of art, right? I love this game. And you know what? Everything about it is just fantastic. I love it, man. Alright, well, thank you very much, Jokepots, for watching. If you made it this far, comment Jokepot so I know who the real ones are. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one, mate. See ya.
Bury the light with it.